Okay. I got nothing much better to do right now. I'm waiting for stuff to happen. So, I thought I'd talk about that fucking puddle. Now, you guys all know, for those of you who have watched the film, you know what I'm talking about. But it's kind of just perplexing to feel that that is how this series ends. Shyamalan started this back in 2000 with Unbreakable. He made Split, and now this is how he ends it. Supposedly he had this ending written back when he wrote Unbreakable, but I don't know if I entirely believe that. Split, I definitely feel, was a film that he had written back in that around that time, because up until Bruce Willis is revealed at the end of the film, you don't know what it is, and it's a very unique, and I enjoyed that. I had no idea what it was. And I think that's probably one of the best parts of Split, is that it's different from Unbreakable. At least, I haven't seen Unbreakable in a while. I'm going to go see it. I'm going to try and find a copy to watch soon. But it was its own film. And Glass, obviously, was the amalgamation of the two previous films put together. And that fucking puddle. Just, what was he thinking? Now, I understand that he wanted to kind of subvert expectations. Oh my god, the Last Jedi quote there. But he was making a universe of superheroes that was different from the rest. He was making something that would exist in the real world. And he did it pretty well, admittedly. Admittedly, Sarah Paulson's character isn't really... You don't really believe her throughout the whole film. Maybe the one thing you could kind of say is how she is kind of explaining Bruce Willis's character, but when she talks to James McAvoy, he's like, no, woman, this dude is invincible. But obviously that's her ploy. Her ploy is to try and make them convince themselves that they don't know who they are. And I knew Glass was going to die, and I knew James McAvoy would most likely bite it. But I did not expect Bruce Willis to die, nor did I expect him to die so pathetically. You see these gloves? These are the gloves that shoved Bruce Willis's head into a fucking puddle. Now, admittedly, mine are reflective orange because sometimes I have to be much more visible when I'm doing my job. But fucking mechanics gloves. Like, I loved how it was a clear ad for these gloves, too. It's like, you know, when Bruce Willis is just doing such a shit job and you just want to drown your employee because they're so fucking inanimate and they just don't care anymore, use Mike's mechanics gloves to drown your victim. Mike's, for some reason, I always keep thinking it's Mike's mechanics, but it's just mechanics. But literally just... by the way, these are great gloves if you want to murder someone in a puddle. So, I've always, I just did not like how it ended. I felt that it was a very cheap trick. If anything, it was a ripoff. And now, again, I know he wanted to subvert expectations and do something a little different, but come on, dude. I know Bruce Willis is weak, and his fear is water, of course. And he just got himself out of that water container. But right in front of his son can see that you are murdering him. I don't know. I just felt that the ending of this film... I know I had a feeling that Bruce Willis might be injured, but I felt he would survive. I did not expect him to die in such a pathetic manner. And it's a very unfortunate end to probably one of the best characters that Shyamalan's ever written. Now, admittedly, it was a bit subversive when you're seeing Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, and you can see that he's acting, you can see that he cares, and you see him in Glass, and he's barely out of a coma. But yeah, it's just it's an unfortunate ending. It's something that this series could have ended to a point where we would have been talking about this for a long time. And it's unfortunately it doesn't. And I feel that it's because it didn't have enough time to fully work out its story kinks, because as a lot of people have complained about, it does drag in the middle. Now, admittedly, it has a good reason as to why it's dragging, but I feel that there's too much at the beginning and there's not enough in the middle, so they could have split the difference maybe a little to keep the pacing going. And then the ending. The ending is... I think Jeremy Johns said it best. Like, this would just be a viral incident. And people would talk about it for a week and then it would just disappear. I don't know. That's just my thought. Anyways, guys, if you agree or have any sort of comments, leave them in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys thought of the ending of Glass, because, like I said, I was just a little bit pissed. Stupid fucking Puddle.